Hi, I wanted to do another video of my houseplants. This is the string of hearts, which I filmed a few months ago, I think back in January. This is what he looks like now. As you can see, he's grown a lot. He's thick on top because I've wound some of the vines back into the main pot because I want a thick top. And but he's still growing. I know people like them for the trailing aspect. I actually like the short version of him, but this is what he looks like now. I have my front door open, which is also currently my light source, which is that way. I apologize for any dog hair you may see on the floor, but Bruce is up and walking, and I've cleaned and swept a couple of times, but I'm seeing it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. This is my variegated string of hearts. She's also grown a lot. And then there's the pretty white variegation right there. It's trailing back there. Both of the string of hearts have been really easy for me to grow. I water them, I want to say maybe every 4 to 6 weeks. I basically wait for the thing to get bone dry and then water. Here is one or two set of vines that sort of reverted back to being green. It originally started as variegation and then it just sort of turned. I also like this one as the shortcut version, but she's been growing really, really well and seems really happy. Also in the north facing window. So there's that one. This is my Monstera Deliciosa, which we purchased back in February, either the 1st or the 8th, because we picked it up at the same time we picked up a gem avocado tree. So I want to say it was the 8th. We picked up at a farmer's market. I think I paid $2.99 or $3.99 for a 4-inch pot, and he's grown a lot for me. His name is Wally. So here are the original leaves, and then these bigger ones are the new leaves for me. He also sits in front of a west-facing window and has just been a really easy grower. I water him maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I have everybody in a plastic pot. So the mix for just about all my plants is I think it's Miracle-Gro potting soil. I add perlite, orchid bark, and it has orchid bark, charcoal, you know, big chunks. And so when I lift up the pot in a plastic pot, if it feels very, 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 very light, I go ahead and water. And that's how I determine whether or not a plants need water, is by lifting up the pot. I can't judge it as well when it's in a clay pot or anything like that, so which is why I like the plastic pot. So it slipped into this little wicker basket. So this is Wally, and he looks, I like him, but he's growing so fast, and I seem to like the baby form when they're small. You know what, let's put him right there. As a big splurge, geez, I bought this either in January or February. I decided to get a Monstera Albo Borgiana cutting. This is it. This is the main cutting leaf, I guess. I rooted it in water. It took a couple of weeks before anything popped up. This is its first new leaf, and you can see how small it is. You can see that it's starting to grow a second one. And I planted it in a clear plastic container. It's not a pot, as you can tell. So I wanted to see how the roots were growing. So I don't know if you can see it. Everything wants to pop out. But there's a root right there. And I can watch the root development, which I think is really important. You can see the roots there. You can see a lot of roots right there. So this is my first one. And yes, I did say first because I have 2 other ones. I bought these 2 cuttings at the same time, also rooted them. But this one, so let me show you the first main leaf. So this is the leaf that I received, the cutting. Potted up in the same mix. Unfortunately, I ran out of the clear plastic containers, so I use this little pot for now. But it's been a very excellent grower. So this is the first leaf since I've received it. And as soon as this one started to mature, it started to send up a second leaf, which is this guy. And he's so much bigger. Really pretty. And let's see if you can see them side by side so you can see the size difference. I'm guessing the next leaf that will grow out should be about the same size as the mama leaf. And so this one has been a really excellent grower for me. It's been growing really, really fast in comparison to this guy, which I received first. Okay, so we'll put him back there. Don't have a name for that one. So at the same time that I bought this cutting, I bought this cutting. Also rooted in water. I think it's gorgeous. And as you can see, it is still slowly growing up its little leaf. And for this one, you can barely see the roots in this one. So maybe that's why it's going so slow. I know it's underneath, but I don't want to flip it without getting the soil mix out. So this is my third and last Albo Borgiana. I think that's how you say it. It's a really gorgeous plant. All three of them basically have been easy to grow, even though you know, this is the only one that is quickly growing, you know, and this one's sort of slow, and they're all sitting in my west facing window. And then at night they do get I forgot the name of the thing, but it's a light thing that my husband friend gave me to grow my plants. And then I also decided to splurge and get a Thai Constellation. So here's my little baby. So it came with these 3 leaves, and this is the one that matured a couple of days after I received it. And so I'm just slowly waiting for the next leaf to grow. So that's my Thai Constellation. I'll put him right there. And then lastly, I wanted to share it's a tetrasperma, Rhap tetrasperma. I received, so I bought the plant on Etsy, and it came in a, like 2 plants, I guess, 2 cuttings, but they were rooted, and this is one of them. I decided to pot them up into a 4-inch pot. So here's 1, here's 2, but I'll show you just this one. And this is the non-tissue culture version. And I think the difference is, though there's some debate from what I could read online, the non-tissue culture allegedly has rounder leaves, whereas the tissue culture has the more slender. But some people are saying that the tissue culture, when they're slender, just isn't as mature. Eventually, I'd like to get a tissue culture one so I can compare and grow both side by side. So I've had this one now for I think almost a month, and it's put out this leaf and I think this one, and I don't know if you can see, but it's starting to grow out another one right there. It is a quick grower, I will say that, and it's been so pretty to look at. I just think it's really, really pretty. So I am looking for a non-tissue culture, a tissue culture version, even though I told my husband I wouldn't buy any more plants. So this is it. These are all my semi-new houseplants for May. And I'm hoping to do maybe another update in a month or 2, depending on how the Albos grow, really, and even Wally over here, and my Thai. So I can kind of keep track of how the leaves are maturing and how they look from one leaf to the next, because there will be you know, different variegations on the leaves. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye!